Have we hit peak social justice warrior? It's hard to believe we haven't when they've hit a new low in suggesting telling women not to drink during pregnancy is sexist. According to this article in The Telegraph, a British national newspaper, so-called experts are suggesting that regular guidelines stating it's best to abstain from alcohol while pregnant are alarmist, stigmatizing, and, like I said, sexist. You know, I wouldn't have even batted an eye at this if they were talking about an occasional glass of beer or wine or something, but this article in The Telegraph says, and I'm reading directly from it, studies have shown that consistent heavy drinking during pregnancy can result in fetal alcohol syndrome, which can cause physical, developmental, and learning difficulties. However, there is not robust evidence that light to moderate drinking or even one-off episodes of binge drinking causes any long-term damage. Yeah, about that. That's because it would be stupid and dangerous to run any kind of study to test how much alcohol is acceptable to drink during pregnancy. We already know that too much alcohol ends up in serious defects. And the British Pregnancy Advisory Service is even going as far as saying that the guidelines pushing for abstaining from alcohol end up in unnecessary abortions because it scares women that have had a few heavy nights out drinking. Does anyone else see the blaring logical fallacy here? Suggesting there's no evidence that moderate or binge drinking while you're pregnant, like you're making an argument that it's okay to do it, tells me you're really not all that concerned about babies or abortions. When there's no evidence, that's all the more reason to abstain or follow established guidelines, since a pregnancy shouldn't be a time to experiment with the threshold of how much booze you can consume before your baby develops a disorder. This is what I would call a reckless disregard for the truth in exchange for virtue signaling over fake sexism. Meanwhile, these so-called experts are based in Britain, where research shows that 4 in 10 women drink while pregnant, which is one of the highest rates in the world. And I know you're going to be as shocked as I am to know that Britain has one of the highest rates of fetal alcohol syndrome, at 61.3 cases per 10,000 births. The global average is 15 out of 10,000. I don't think it takes a genius to figure this correlation out. Excessive drinking while pregnant causes serious birth defects. These stats from the Canadian Centre for Addiction and Mental Health are pretty convincing of that fact. So once again, the left show their complete hypocrisy. They don't care about babies. By this logic, it's sexist to have healthy babies being born, and a win for feminism when babies are born with fetal alcohol syndrome. This is just another fake issue that shows their complete lack of regard for life when they prefer to virtue signal over perceived sexism than take facts into account. I think I'll stick to advice from doctors over social justice warriors. Not only is this crazy, but it's a slippery slope. What's next? Saying it's sexist to tell women not to do harmful drugs while pregnant? Let's face it, if you can't stay away from alcohol for 9 months, maybe you shouldn't be having babies at all. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss the other side of the story in Canadian news.